Alright guys, so let's do this quick little review. Well, not review, just a scene. Now, the film X-Men Apocalypse is out this week, so this probably won't come out till maybe Sunday. If not Sunday, probably Tuesday next week. I don't know, wherever I feel like editing, but it will be out probably Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. One of those 3 days. Just don't know when it is. So if you've seen the film, don't watch this. If you if you've seen the film, then you can watch this video. If you haven't seen the film, then don't watch this video because it's spoiler warning. Now, I'm gonna probably put an entire X-Men Apocalypse scene and put spoiler at the end or in the top, whatever. But just to let you know, it's a spoiler warning. Now, this film was trying to juggle a lot in this. It was trying to be a sequel to the First Class and Days of Future Past, but it also was doing the thing of Days of Future Past. What it did, Days of Future Past, it corrected the mistakes of Last Stand and somewhat Origins, which it should just focus on Origins and Last Stand. It happened. Last Stand. It happens. It happened. It happened. But they correct that too, which but still, it was an enjoyable film. Not the best film, but it was still enjoyable. Going into this film, I expected a lot. My hopes are down. If you see my review, I talked badly about it, but that's just me. Now, did the Wolverine scene needed to be added in the X-Men Apocalypse? I'm going to talk about. There's a scene, as you see in the last trailer, they spoiled that Wolverine makes his return to the X-Men films. But in this film, they're doing a reboot, soft reboot slash correction of X-Men Origins in a small but subtle way. But here's the thing, though. Now, let's talk about the problems I have. Now, let's talk. The Wolverine scene in here, if you've seen it, is he's in the film pretty. I wouldn't say he's in there a long time, but you know how Spider-Man was in the film of Civil War? I think Civil War Spider-Man had a little bit more screen time than Wolverine, but Wolverine was in the film, I won't say the same amount, but he was in there for a good 3 or 4 minutes, more than I expected. I thought he was going to be in the film probably for a minute, and that's it, but he was in the film for a good minute. Hugh Jackman came back. Now, in the film, William Stryker takes Jennifer Lawrence, Mystique. The reason I'm calling her Jennifer Lawrence is because in the film she's not Mystique, she's Jennifer Lawrence. Mystique. Who else? Beast. The CIA agent. Whoever her name is. Quicksilver. And yeah, I think that's it. That's it. So they take them to the beach to interrogate them to find out what happened in the world, because there's a scene that happened where Apocalypse released all the nukes, and he's trying to get information from the mutants, which I think he could have done a different way. I digress. But this was a scene so he could get the information from the mutant. But also the scene was made for one reason, for Wolverine to make his triumphant return into the franchise with those metal claws. But even though we saw the metal claws in Days of Future Past, in the future, he didn't have them during that time period because there was still the adamantium didn't come in until later on, and then we got to see that. Cyclops, Jean, and Nightcrawler released Wolverine from his cage, and and pretty much Wolverine tear up shit. He had the helmet, the Weapon X helmet and everything like that. So, okay. Now, my opinion on it. Do I think the scene was needed to be in the film? No. I really didn't. I know they were trying to recorrect Origins. If they want to do that, just do another reboot with Wolverine and do that. But I guess they were probably talking about that with Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman said, no, I'm done. After the Wolverine, I'm done. It's like, okay, whatever. To be honest with you, this should have been a film. Wolverine should have never been added to the film. Reason being because we all know Hugh Jackman is hanging up the claws in his last Wolverine film, and it's rightfully so. We need someone else to reboot this, someone else to do the damn character. Because at this moment, we don't know where the X-Men franchise is going. And as much as I like to see Scott, Jean, and all of them together, we do need Wolverine. You cannot have an X-Men film without Wolverine. And it's been shown that Wolverine draws money. You know, yeah. Do I think he's the big part of the future of the franchise? He is. They need to recast him. And to me, this should have been a setup where they did some, where Days of Future Past fucked up the timeline, where they recreate a new Wolverine in this film. They're showing Wolverine, but Wolverine, you know, where, I don't know, they have Wolverine's mind go to a different body, or they need to figure out a way to get Wolverine a new Wolverine. Hugh Jackman. Even though we all know Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, we need a new Wolverine, and they should have been trying to set up a new Wolverine for this franchise. Not keep rehashing Hugh Jackman, because let's be honest, Hugh Jackman said he's tired of the character. But I mean, let's be honest here, he'll keep doing it, but we do want a new reboot with the character down the road, and I think Hugh Jackman will probably admit 2 years time. And plus, the longer he keeps doing this, you know, if he wants to do a DC or a Marvel, like a Marvel Studios film, he can't do it. He's signed to Fox. So Hugh Jackman probably thinking about the future. I thought the scene wasn't needed. I thought it was kind of weird anyway to have to see. And the biggest question is, the scene, I know what it's trying to do is create the just pretty much tarnishing origins like it never happened, but it just wasn't needed. There was a scene also in the film that was taken out with the mall with Nightcrawler, Jean, Jubilee, Jean, and Cyclops. They're all in the mall. That scene was probably replaced for this scene. Now you probably say, "Oh no, it wasn't." It was, because I do not believe the Wolverine scene was ever going to be in the film. Now, probably after the first trailer, they were probably like, "Okay, we might need to add Wolverine," and they probably add that anyway in there early, just in case it goes south, where fans weren't too pleased with the film, and where they were doing some, you know, filming and stuff. That's where they probably got Hugh Jackman in, flew him in. Hey, look, can you do this? Can you do that? And it was very hush hush. We heard rumors he was in the film, but we didn't get a confirmation until we saw the trailer, the last trailer. Now, to me, it wasn't. I thought it was just a waste. And here's the biggest plot hole: Stryker. Now, I thought Stryker died in Days of Future Past, and I also thought Mystique was Stryker in Days of Future Past. That's why Stryker was dead. But then Mystique's like, "Oh no, it's Stryker," and I'm like, aren't you supposed to be him? Because when we saw Stryker, I said, "Oh, okay, Mystique's being Stryker," because Stryker died in Days of Future Past. No, he didn't die. He was still alive. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Now, that was just the biggest plot hole ever, and that's why I said this scene's not needed, because it's a big plot hole in Days of Future Past. You go at the end of Days of Future Past, you see Mystique, and her eyes are glowing yellow, and Mystique, and you see Stryker eyes yellow. That's Mystique. But the biggest question is, what happened? So Stryker was alive? Because I thought Stryker died in the last film, and it just is a big ass plot hole. It's probably the biggest plot hole that I want to be addressed, and I wouldn't mind if Mystique would just been Stryker, because it would have made more sense. To be quite honest with you, this is what I thought how Apocalypse was going to go down: Mystique, Wolverine, and Storm and Magneto, or Mystique, Wolverine, Storm, and Psylocke, and Magneto was just there on the fence. You know, he was still contemplating. To be honest with you, Magneto didn't need to be a horseman. But if you wanted to add Magneto as a horseman, you could have. But I would have just had Psylocke, Storm, Mystique, and Wolverine, and it made sense to the story. Wolverine was the hero of the last film. He's the villain of this film. He's mind controlled. He's fucked. And it would have been perfect for the perfect story. And you have the new team versus Wolverine, Mystique, and all these other characters, and they're trying to get Mystique back. They're trying to get Wolverine back. They're trying to get Storm, all these other characters. It would have been a better story, but that's just my opinion. And this video went longer than expected. Anyway, guys, I'm going on a ramble, but what do you guys think? Do you think the Wolverine scene in X-Men Apocalypse was needed, or do you think it could have been taken out? I think it could have been taken out. It wasn't needed in the film. I prefer the whole mall scene better, but that's just my opinion on it. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys think. Peace. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.